In the tender bloom of spring, four men, all lawyers by profession, found themselves trotting on horseback along a muddy country road. They were on a journey to the neighboring town, summoned by the call of the court. The weather had just cleared after a downpour, leaving the earth beneath them soft and the foliage around them dripping wet. They rode in a line, one after the other, their path confined by the narrow trail and flanked by deep mud. Their pace was leisurely, their spirits high, their conversation filled with laughter and jests. As they meandered through a small grove, a peculiar fluttering and chirping drew their attention. A chorus of urgent "stith, stith, stith" echoed from the branches above, while a weak "cheep, cheep, cheep" responded from the drenched grass below. Curiosity piqued. The first of the group, a man named Speed, inquired about the commotion. The second, Harden, dismissed it lightly, attributing it to a pair of baby robins fallen from their nest, too young to fly, and their distraught mother. A third lawyer, whose name seems to have been lost in the folds of time, lamented the probable fate of the young birds, death in the cold, wet grass. Harden, however, shrugged it off, questioning the need to concern themselves with mere birds. Speed echoed his sentiment, and they moved on, leaving the distressed robin family behind, their conversation and laughter resuming as if nothing had happened. But the fourth man, Abraham Lincoln, paused. He dismounted from his horse, and with a gentleness belying his large stature, picked up the tiny, chirping creatures. Their fear seemed to melt away in his warm hands, replaced by soft, trusting chirps. Promise made to the little birds, Lincoln then faced the challenge of returning them home, a nest perched much higher than he could reach. Undeterred, Lincoln, who had climbed many a tree in his boyhood, ascended the tree and carefully nestled the baby birds back into their home, joining their siblings who had managed to stay put. The reunited family huddled together, their tiny world restored. Meanwhile, the other lawyers, having stopped at a spring to water their horses, noticed Lincoln's absence. Remembering the baby birds, Speed speculated that their friend must have stayed behind to help them. They were right. A few moments later, Lincoln caught up, his shoes muddy, his coat torn by the thorny tree. Seeing his disheveled state, Harden greeted him with a jest, asking where he'd been. Lincoln simply replied, "I stopped a minute to give those birds to their mother." Speed then declared him a hero, albeit mockingly, and they all shared a laugh at Lincoln's seemingly foolish act. Unfazed, Lincoln responded, "Gentlemen, I could not have slept tonight if I had left those helpless little robins to perish in the wet grass." The man who couldn't bear to see innocent lives perish went on to become a renowned lawyer, statesman, and the President of the United States. Next to Washington, he became one of the greatest Americans in history. This tale of Lincoln and the robins serves as a reminder that no act of kindness, no matter how seemingly insignificant, is ever wasted. It is a testament to the fact that the measure of a person's greatness lies not in their power or status, but in their compassion for the helpless.